And Donald Trump is now leading in every single poll, better than everybody else. Here's Donald Trump to get us started.
This is when we appreciate our great police and our law enforcement. Remember that. Remember that.
Wonder why they're not losers, because they didn't stop it. Here's a man who made fun of disabled people, and his poll numbers not only went up, but have now shot up to the point where now...
we have Rick, and I still have the Cruz cut.
It's quite extraordinary. All right. Where's Donald Trump? Here's Ted Cruz.
I believe this nation needs a wartime president to defend it.
That's Ted Cruz. Let's talk Rick Klein, ABC News. Good morning, Rick Klein.
Hey, great to be with you.
Let's talk that this story has become a story in and of itself and a story about the reaction from some of the presidential candidates.
Yeah, it is always becomes that, it seems like. And I'm struck by the difference in reactions between Democrats and Republicans. Democrats immediately made this about gun control, Republicans about terrorism, even before we knew the true facts on the ground and as we continue to learn them. So I think you see sort of a scramble to have the events on the ground fit the political frame that you've already readied for it.
Yeah, clearly people have sort of gone off to their own talking points and sort of have twisted it for their own benefit. But it seems like both things could be true, and the criticism is that they're not looking at it from the other point of view.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, there's often, as is often the case, you have lots of overlap on these issues. It's not one or the other. Maybe it's a little bit of both. But particularly in this case, it is striking how quickly the statements came out, how quickly people wanted to fit this into the political frame that had already been set up for themselves. It struck me, and you saw the backlash against the idea of thoughts and prayers. That's the first thing that everyone offers: thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. You heard people saying this isn't about thoughts and prayers. This is about action. This is about paralysis in Washington. This is about trying to understand the roots of the problems.
Yeah, you mentioned the many of the Republican presidential candidates came out and had their tweets about keeping these guys in their thoughts and prayers. The Daily News ripped on them. You had other politicians saying, look, thoughts and prayers isn't enough. You wouldn't think you'd get backlash wishing somebody thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, I think it's just that it's become part of the numbness of it. We expect that now, and we even have now a few members of Congress who said they're going to boycott the moments of silence that happened on the House floor after this, because it's then followed by a more deafening silence of inaction, and they want to highlight that. So I think one of the things right now is there's a little bit less patience for the normal 1, 2, 3 of what happens in the wake of these tragedies, and a little more concern about where things stand.
If it turns out to be a terrorist attack, which we have to wait and see. When the last terrorist attack happened on American soil, we spent trillions of dollars. If this turns out to be a terrorist attack, are any presidential candidates talking about doing anything to stop this in the future?
They all will say things that they say would stop it, but I don't think there's much in terms of the plans that are out there right now that would actually have that impact. No, I don't see that. And it's tough. It's hard, not easy. It's not like there's an easy bill that would do this. Even if you were to ban gun sales, no one thinks the terrorists wouldn't be able to get them. It's just a maddening series of events in a tense time in the country.
Yeah. Any comment on the new Donald Trump poll in which he makes fun of disabled people and his numbers go even higher?
He's as high as he's ever been. I saw him yesterday seeming to play into Jewish stereotypes at a gathering of Jewish Republicans, and I saw them all rolling in the aisles laughing. They loved it. So it's like a roast, like a Comedy Central roast or something. You just expect the offensive things to come out, and because it's Trump, he just plays by a different set of rules. I've never witnessed anything like it in politics, and we keep waiting for the bubble to burst, but it keeps getting bigger. Ben
Carson, though, has sort of taken a hit in all of this.
Yeah, he has, and we've seen him fade. At that same event I just referenced, he mispronounced the terrorist group Hamas and made it sound like hummus, which, for the group in town was, as he's reading a speech wrote, they were a little bit surprised that he doesn't seem to know things better. That's what campaigns do. They test people, and you see over time whether people can bear the brunt of the scrutiny, and in this case, it hasn't been that kind to Ben Carson.
Rick Klein, ABC News. Thanks for checking in, Rick.
Okay, thank you.
625, Big 550, KTRS. American Eagle Credit Union. That's